From the beginning, we knew that our time in Porto would be short. With just 2 days in town, it would be a challenge to get anything more than a surface-level understanding of Portugal's second largest city. Yet somehow, what we thought of the city upon arrival was completely different from our view of it when we left, and it was all thanks to one man. This is Nuno. He is a guide for Porto walkers who operate free historical walking tours around the city. I cannot emphasize enough how necessary this experience is to understand the complexities of the city's layout and its rich history, containing both triumph and tragedy. In modern times, Porto seems to be going through a bit of an identity crisis. Overtourism is rampant and construction to handle this influx is everywhere. It's a bit jarring when you first arrive. And yet, once you get away from the popular shopping streets and the riverfront restaurants, you stand amongst narrow alleyways that could tell stories for generations. The streets here have a way of making you feel tiny, but embracing this is the first step to truly appreciating Porto. There's a lot about here that you may have heard or that would make you want to visit. Maybe you heard that the bridge was designed by the same guy who made the Eiffel Tower. Or maybe you want to taste the world-famous port wine that is supposed to originate from here. But as it turns out, neither one of those are even true. A former student of Eiffel designed the bridge, and port wine comes from the Douro Valley rather than the city of Porto itself. It feels like this city needs to have some sort of crazy feature or rumor just to attract visitors. Or maybe streets made just for luxury brand storefronts. But truth be told, the visitors are the part of the city we liked the least. The city is not meant to be Disney World. It is a charming city with a fascinating history, with delicious food and wine as well, but most importantly, kind locals. As tourism has exploded since COVID, I feel it has attracted the wrong crowd visiting for the wrong reasons. All you have to do is step even slightly off the beaten path, and you'll find this town is just as magical as it was hyped up to be, just for entirely different reasons than you might have originally heard. You should visit Porto regardless of your reasoning though. Come here to shop, or to eat, or to admire the bridges, or even venture out and try the authentic port wine. Either way, it will not disappoint. I know personally I can't wait to return to eat more Francesina and try plenty more wine. But when you do come, also spend some time learning about this town's important role in both Portuguese and greater European history over the many centuries it has stood here. You might be surprised at how this knowledge reshapes your perspective and appreciation of not only Porto, but the entire country of Portugal. Okay, closing thoughts on Porto. It's really something. I wasn't crazy about it upon first glance, but it's really grown on me as I've spent time here. It reminds me a lot of New York City in the sense of the busyness, the chaos, kind of a lot going on, and a lot of that has to do with tourism, which is kind of a bummer, but it's pretty great. It's actually really grown on me. The buildings are beautiful, and I think if you can look past that initial crowdedness and craziness and find those more secluded, calmer spots, it really just does become magical. Having a guided tour and having the ability to see the deeper parts of the city just makes such a difference and really makes it special. So yeah, I can't wait to come back.